Yeah, Tim, I was going to ask, Danny Morrega, where have you kind of seen him grow since he entered this program, and where do you kind of hope to see him develop a little bit here in the next few games and season?
Yeah, well, he's had a chance to play a lot more every week. Number of reps and games have gone up, and obviously when Lucas Kroll, went down, I guess kind of another tight end backup role switch for us. So he got a number of reps in. He's played very hard. I think his last 2 weeks have been by far his most aggressive of playing and finishing, and he's getting a comfort zone every day to all the different personnel groupings and what we have for playing. So we need everybody. So whether you're a fifth stringer, a walk-on, whoever, or the back half of football season, you're counting on everyone. So we got to count on him too.
Tim, how challenging is it for a guy like Grant to go from tight end to tackle and back to tight end? Is that a tough adjustment?
Well, I think number one, he's a very sharp kid, got great demeanor, very disciplined kid. So when he did switch positions, obviously he gained weight because he'd eat that extra hamburger. And then, now he's back to tight ends. So now he's back to dieting. But smart kid, he really had remembered most of the offense. So it wasn't like he had to relearn and, rethink. And that just was a matter, I think, initially when he came back, it was just the extra running in practice. So now he's kind of back into, quote, a game shape for a tight end. He's no longer a tackle. And he, again, played, better this past week. He was in on 21 snaps. So, again, we're counting on him as we make this, last season push through October, November.
And Tim, now that these guys are, experienced a little bit more, going into their sixth game, do you expect the tight end, whoever it is, to be more involved in the offense going forward?
Well, I guess good question. With you say offense involved, when pass play A gets called, whatever the progression's quarterback is, whether the tight end's first or whether the tight end's fifth in the progression, you got to be, run around and be ready for the ball. So, obviously Jordan, Addison's done a nice job, made some big plays for us. And as we've just gone through the situations that, the tight end has had chances. Every tight end, like most players, wish you'd have 50 passes come to you every game, but that's not the case. You've got a game plan, trying to execute, per play, per series, per quarter to win the game. And, when their numbers are being called, obviously it's gonna be time to, answer the phone and go. So there's still plenty of football left for us to get some, stats, I guess people say, to, for the team to help us win.
Tim, Lucas is obviously a pretty unique athlete in his size and strength and speed. Has there been stuff that you intended to do coming into this year with him that you've just not been able to do since you lost him?
Yeah, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, Lucas is a pretty unique athlete in terms of his size and speed. Has there been stuff that you could put in sort of specifically for him that you haven't been able to do without him?
Well, that is correct, because he is a rather large, monster out there at his size. And, he's been out there, obviously working to get himself back, anxious to, when that day can come and get back on the field and playing for the Pitt Panthers. And he has, number one, still worked very hard. He's in the meeting, very intent, and he's fast. I mean, the guy can run. He can stretch the field. He has, really very good hands, and we really have loved his toughness and his demeanor too. It's just he's not had a chance to participate like we want him to, but again, anxiously waiting for number 7 to get back out there for us.
Tim, from a pass blocking standpoint for this week, is Miami a tough team to identify? How big of a challenge? What's the challenge going to be there this week against Miami from pass blocking?
Like all teams nowadays, everybody has their own individual, what is your defensive package for, blitz and pressure and stunts and who they're trying to get open. And, Miami, most years have got very good athletes. They get off the ball fast. They have a demeanor. They're trying to get to the quarterback and, pressure. And I think our kids have done fairly well in pass pro this year. I think we're rated very for as many times we've thrown it. We've done a nice job of keeping people off the quarterback and sacks at a very low, rate. But that's going to be, from here on out every week, it's got to be so. And, there's challenges in pass pro every week. And, just take care of your own house, no protections, know who's got who, and then just go block them. And I think Coach Borbs and Coach Powell have done a very good job this season of keeping us, on the right guy and just not turning people loose. But, yes, we have another challenge this week in the Miami Hurricanes.
Tim, I guess, maybe even going back to August when your tight ends say go up against like a Patrick Jones in practice? I mean, what does he kind of bring to the table as a pass rusher that might be different than what your tight ends might otherwise see, or what makes him unique, I guess?
Well, I think the thing that's been very nice, I guess when you're playing against people like Patrick Jones and Weaver every day in practice, is that you're playing against realistically the best or the definite upper half of our league. So what you're seeing in practice, you're really not going to see anybody better, maybe the same, but really not better than what you're going to face on Saturdays. So it's a great challenge, on a day-to-day basis, because if you can block Patrick Jones, you really ought to be able to block your opponent on Saturdays. So that's the one situation I think our kids have appreciated, that, the competition level, is their daily form, and, get a chance to get better because you're blocking somebody who is a senior who's been a dominant football player for his career, that's, playing at a high level. It's just good to challenge those guys on a daily basis.
Tim, obviously 1-point losses are very difficult. How has the team responded after the last couple of weeks early on this week?
Well, I mean, there's no question that, anytime you lose is, miserable. And, we've had, you say tough losses, however you want to describe those games the past 2 weeks. But, this team, this group of individuals, they've had a very good mindset. They have felt the loss very, very hard on the Saturday and the Sunday, but they've been able to at least flip the switch. They've come to practice. It's not like maybe some other teams in, other years or other decades where I've coached where, you lose a game and the kids, motivation is out for 48 hours. Our kids have come back into the building, ready to go, attentive to the next opponent, get focused on the next opponent. Yeah, sure, it hurts. Yes, it was a loss, but they've dealt with it very strongly, very mature, and understand there's another game to be played, and you must get ready for the next game soon because it'll be here soon. And so I have liked being around our players. It makes coaching easy because you don't have to pull teeth to get them to do stuff. They come in here wide alert and ready to go, and it makes coaching fun.